I think we both wanted to see how the year went, and they knew that my main, what I wanted to do this year was play in the playoffs and have a chance to go as deep as I could, and it seemed like that might not be possible in New Jersey, so we started talking about options, and I think he got a couple good offers and eventually sat me out, and I'm on my way.
And Taylor Hall getting ready for that game this evening. Renaud Lavoie of TVA is joining us from Montreal. We'll get to the Habs and the Canucks in just a second. But, Renaud, let's start with Taylor Hall. Renaud, good to see you. How you doing? I'm Rude. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
It's been too long. Thanks for coming on, friend. Taylor Hall, are you okay with what Arizona gave up? Did you think it was a bit much for a guy in his walk year? What was your initial take on that?
I think you mentioned the right word. It's an okay trade, and that's what everybody around the league is saying right now. Because, first of all, if you're the Devils, I'm pretty sure that the coaching staff, maybe some other people in the organization, wanted at least a young player that can play right now, okay? That's not what they got. And obviously, you have a first-round pick. That's pretty good. Maybe another first-round pick. So that's going to be even better. And you have Kevin Ball, that giant defenseman, left-handed, that everybody's looking for right now, playing with the Ottawa 67 at Team Canada's training camp right now. And, I mean, that probably is the key element of that trade. I'm not convinced that Ball is going to play in the NHL next year, but he's a big body. What I'm hearing is he's a really good skater. So that's going to help. Probably they're going to give him a good chance next year at training camp, but we'll see how it's going to turn out. But that's, I think, the key element of that trade. And for the Coyotes, now they need to make sure that Taylor Hall is going to like the Glendale area. It's a great place to live, guys. And I think it's going to be easy for Taylor Hall to appreciate the Coyotes. Is he going to sign a long-term contract with that franchise? We'll see. Obviously, it's not going to be now. Probably somewhere in June if it happens. It's an okay trade for the Devils. As of right now, an okay trade, too, for the Coyotes.
A few markets in Canada, Renaud, wondered if their team should have been in on that action. Edmonton is one of them in the market that you're in right now. Montreal wonders, when is Marc Bergevin going to use all that cap space that he has? From what you're hearing, were either any close to making a deal here?
No, not at all. Not even close. And you know what? There's a survey right now that we did here at TVA Sports in Montreal, and I can't believe the result, not because I don't agree, okay? But the question was quite simple. Do you want Marc Bergevin to trade one of the young prospects to make sure that this team is going to be better now? So a quick fix. And more than 65% of the respondents are saying no to that question. They like what Marc Bergevin is doing right now, and rightly so. This is not the time to get a Taylor Hall for maybe 3 or 4 months to make sure that the Montreal Canadiens will go in the playoffs. First of all, you're not 100% sure it's going to happen. Second of all, you're not going to win a Stanley Cup with Taylor Hall with the Montreal Canadiens right now. This is the plan. I think the people in Montreal are buying that plan, and rightly so. Because the problem with the Montreal Canadiens right now, since 1993, the last time they won that Stanley Cup, it's always the same thing. They're picking maybe between 15 and 28 or 29 or never 30, but obviously around that mix. You're never going to get the good players that you want when obviously you're drafting 10, 11, 12, 13, or 15. In the last few years, they had the luxury of drafting Jesper Kotkaniemi, third overall 2 years ago. It's all right. Maybe he went to the team a little too early, but this is not the issue here. The thing is, you need to rebuild, and you need to obviously draft really good players, and you need to develop those players the right way. And I do believe that's what the Montreal Canadiens are doing, and I do believe that in the long run, this is going to make that franchise better. So, and even the Edmonton Oilers, they didn't want to trade their first-round pick. Rightly so. So I understand the situation right now in Glendale. They need people in the stands. They need to make the playoffs. They have a new owner who's ready to spend. Perfect. It's perfect for Taylor Hall to play with the Coyotes. But I don't believe it would have been the right decision for any Canadian team to have Taylor Hall.
So John Chaika, GM of the Coyotes, it sounds like he's going to give it a go in terms of re-signing Hall. No one really expects it to happen, but he's going to try. Leaving Glendale out of it. Of the other 30 teams sitting there, Renaud, who should we be looking at the most approaching July 1st when it comes to Taylor Hall? Who has cleared the deck, has the pieces ready to make a run, and would be really interested in that kind of a talent?
That's a great question. And you have to put the Oilers in that mix. Even if they didn't make that trade, it could be a really good possibility. I know one thing about Taylor Hall. He really liked Canada, okay? He loved the Canadians market. It was a shock for him to leave Edmonton. So it's obvious that a team like maybe Edmonton has got an edge. You look at Ottawa, they have a lot of cap space. Maybe it's a way for them to show the rest of the world that they're ready to make a good push with a veteran player to help the younger players. But I obviously, if you're asking me what are the chances for the Ottawa Senators to sign Taylor Hall long term, probably 5 to 10%. I think it's exactly the same thing right now with the Montreal Canadiens. So in Canada, there's not a ton of market where Taylor Hall, I think, is going to have offers that he really wants. I do believe that Edmonton will be part of that discussion. Probably he will have to get a little less to play in Edmonton. But that being said, you look at that franchise right now, they're going in the right direction. They're knocking on that door. That window is going to open at one point, and this is going to be a team that's going to have a good chance to win the Stanley Cup. So probably Edmonton could be, again, a right fit for Taylor Hall.
11 games in the NHL tonight, 6 Canadian teams in action, and an all-Canadian matchup in Vancouver as the Canadians are in to face the Canucks. And just looking at the standings in the Atlantic and in the Pacific Division, every game is important, all the more important when they're divisional. I mean, in the Atlantic, right now, 2 and 6 are separated by 4 points, and 6 is Tampa. I don't think anyone expected Tampa to be there or remain there. Does that ratchet up the pressure on the rest of the teams in the Atlantic?
No doubt about that. And you know what? You look at the standing right now, I think what the Panthers did last night was great. It was a big win versus the Ottawa Senators. They were ready to play the Ottawa Senators, and there's not a lot of teams who are really ready to play that team. So Joel Quenneville did a great job. And I'm sure that the Panthers are looking at the standing and they're saying, wow, there's an opening here. Same thing with the Buffalo Sabres. And I know it's going to be a big battle tonight between the Sabres and the Maple Leafs. You know, those 2 points are going to be crucial. And if the Sabres get the edge, probably tomorrow we're going to discuss about the Sabres and asking ourselves, are they for real?
Yeah.
And that's a question we need to ask. I think the Panthers are for real. I think you know what's going on right now with the Maple Leafs. I think they're turning the corner. They're playing better. So it's really the question mark here is Tampa. How can it be possible that Tampa, as of right now, is the question mark with all the talent on that group? I don't know how long that management and ownership will be patient, but they need to turn the corner quickly. They need to win games, and they need to be the best team in the Eastern Conference soon. Not somewhere at the end of January. It's going to be. I'm not going to say it's going to be too late, but they need to win games right now. If not, something's going to happen, guys. You cannot say, well, we're talented. We're gonna find a way. This is a team that should be probably first in the conference, if not second right now.
Yeah.
He is Renaud Lavoie from TVA. He is fantastic. We don't bug him enough. Renaud, let's not wait that long between visits next time. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for having me again. Enjoy your evening.
Anytime. Yeah, you too.